Today we're going to talk about the measures of variation. So we've already talked about measures of center, which gives you one value in the middle of the data. Measures of variation are talking about describing the variance or spread of the data. So are all the data values really close together? Are they spread apart? Looking at that part of it. So what we're going to use to look at the measures of variation are what we call the quartiles. Okay, if you think of the word quart, that means 4. So it's values that divide the data set into 4 equal parts. We're going to talk about these terms later, but how we're going to do that is using the first quartile, the median, and the third quartile. We only need 3 values to be able to cut something into 4 equal parts. Think about it. If we had a straight line, okay, if we want it to be into 4 parts, we cut it once, twice, 3 times. Now we have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. So we only need 3 spots to break it into to get into 4 equal parts. So let's look at some of the important vocabulary terms here. The median we already talked about. It's the middle number in the data set. The most important part here is that we have to put the data in numerical order. Okay, then the first quartile, which we're going to refer to as the Q1, is the median of the data values less than the median. So that's kind of confusing, but let's look at this picture here. If we have a data set and we've already cut it in half, we have a bottom half of the data. We are finding the middle number within that bottom half. So in this one, 52 would be the median of the lower half. Then the third quartile is the median of the data values greater than the mean. So again, we have the same data set, we cut it in half. Now we're just looking at the top half and finding the middle number of that top half. So we have a Q1 and a Q3. You might be asking, where is the Q2? Well, our median is technically our Q2 because that's the one that cuts it in half. It goes 1, 2, 3. Q1, median, Q3. Then our interquartile range. You might already know what a range is, but the interquartile range is the difference between the Q3 and the Q1. So you're just subtracting Q3 minus Q1 to get your interquartile range, which we call the IQR. And then range is something you may already be familiar with. It's the difference between the highest and the lowest values. So let's look at this first problem. So the following set of numbers represents the number of sporting events 15 people attended last year. You really have to be careful in this first part, which is we're putting it in order from least to greatest, because if you miss a value or you don't have it in the correct order, all of your answers are going to be wrong. So let's look for the smallest value first. I see a 0. There's another 0. Then we have a 1 and another 1. Then we have 2, and another 2, and a 3. Then we have 5, another 5, another 5, 6, we have a 7, and another 7, 10, and 11. So you'll notice, as I was putting it in order, I cross it off up here so I don't accidentally use a value I've already used. Now that it's in order, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the median value. So I'm going to cross off lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest, and keep doing that till we get to 1 or 2 values in the middle. In this instance, we have 1 number in the middle, so our median value is 5. Now we need to find the median of the lower half. When we have 1 number in the middle, we actually cross that off and don't include that when we're finding the bottom half, so that we have the same number of values on the bottom and the top. So this here is the bottom half that we're looking at to find our Q1. So again, I'm going to cross off lowest and highest just from that bottom half, and I'm going to do it in the opposite direction. So lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. I'm left with 1 value in the middle here, which is 1, so our Q1 is 1. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the top. I'm not including that 5, so I'm just looking at this top half here. Lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. I'm left with 1 value in the middle. Another clue, if there's only 1 in the middle on the bottom, there should be 1 in the middle on the top. Now to find our IQR, we're just doing Q3 minus Q1. So I'm going to write up here 7 minus 1, which is an IQR of 6. And then our range, we're doing our highest value, which is 11, minus our lowest value of 0, which gives me 11. All right, next problem. Students in Miss Eider's math class received the following scores. So again, first thing we're doing, putting them in order from least to greatest. So the first number that I see, the lowest number is 70, then 72, then 74, 80, 81, 82, 83, 86, 87, 88, 90, 92, 92, 95, 96, and 98. Okay. All right, so now we're going to find the middle values. I'm crossing off my lowest and highest each time. This time I have two values in the middle. So remember, when we have two values in the middle, we need to add them together and divide by 2 to find the average of them. So 86 plus 87 divided by 2 should be 86.5. And if you think about it, halfway between 86 and 87 is 86.5. Now that since I have two values in the middle, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to draw a line in between those two numbers. The 86 is going to be included with the bottom half. The 87 is going to be included with the top half. So then it really cuts it in half. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values in the bottom half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values in the top half. All right, so now I'm going to find our Q1, the median of the lower half. Cross off lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. Again, I'm left with two values in the middle. If you think about it, we had 8 values. Whenever we have an even set, there should be 2 in the middle. So I'm going to add them together and divide by 2. I get 80.5. Same thing for the top half. Lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. Again, we have two values in the middle. You might notice right away that they're the same numbers, so the average of them is just going to be 92. If not, you can add them together, divide by 2, and you will get 92. For our IQR, we do our Q3, which is 92, minus our Q1 of 80.5, should give us an IQR of 11.5. And then our range, our highest value of 98 minus our lowest value of 70 gives us a range of 28. Let's do one more, and then we'll have you do the U-Try on your own. The following are heights of students in Mr. Cameron's gym class. So first thing, putting them in order from least to greatest. Be careful because we've got some decimals in here, so make sure you're looking at that carefully. The lowest number I see is 60. Then 62, another 62, 64. I don't see any 65s, but I see 65.5. Another 65.5, then 67, 68, 70, another 70, 72, and 72. All right, let's find our median. Crossing off. Lowest, highest, lowest, highest. In this case, again, we have two values in the middle. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 data values. When there's an even number, there should be 2 in the middle. So I'm going to add 65.5 plus 67, divide by 2, and I get 66.25 for my median. I'm going to round that to about 66.3 or 66 3/10. Again, when there's two numbers in the middle, we draw the line in the middle, right? When there was 1, we cross it off. We don't include it in the bottom half or the top half. When there's 2, we put the line in the middle and we include it, the bottom one for the bottom half, the top one for the top half. So let's cross off, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. Again, I have 2 values in the middle, so I'm going to add them together, divide by 2, and I get 63 for my Q1. Let's do the same thing to the top, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. I have 2 values in the middle. These ones are the same. I might realize that right away. If not, add them together and divide by 2 to get a Q3 of 70. For IQR, we're going to do our Q3 of 70 minus our Q1 of 63. 70 minus 63 is 7. For our range, we're going to do 72, which is our highest, minus 60, which is our lowest, which gives us a range of 12. Go ahead and do the U-try on your own.